What if one of basketball's brightest young stars wasn't just honing her skills, but physically changing the way she plays so dramatically that the entire league is shaking in its sneakers? It sounds almost unbelievable, but that's exactly what we're seeing with Caitlin Clark. She's gone from a promising rookie who some claimed might be too slight for the WNBA's rough and tumble style, to a suddenly imposing force who's rewriting the rules of what a guard can do. Rumors are swirling, fans are hyped, and the league's top defenders are getting nervous. Now the question on everyone's mind is simple: are we about to witness the birth of a once-in-a-generation superstar? So here we are, witnessing the evolution of a player who's not just trying to win games, she's poised to redefine what's possible for guards in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's transformation is more than a muscle gain or an upgraded shot. It's a statement. She's telling the world she's ready to hold her own against the league's most formidable defenders, that her potential extends far beyond a flashy three-pointer or a highlight pass. This seismic shift isn't just about one athlete. Clark's relentless pursuit of improvement may well inspire the next generation of players to push their own boundaries. If she continues on this trajectory, bigger, faster, stronger, and smarter, it's fair to wonder if we're watching the early days of a future all-time great. But here's the truly exciting part: we don't know how high her ceiling goes. Each season, she seems to find new ways to surprise us. In a league that's hungry for breakout stars and vibrant personalities, Caitlin Clark is serving up both. And as the next season approaches, fans, coaches, and fellow players alike will be eager to see if the hype can translate into a dominant performance. Could she capture an MVP trophy by year's end, set new records for scoring or assists, cement her status as a blueprint for the modern WNBA guard? Only time will tell, but one thing's certain: Caitlin Clark is done with being pushed around. She's here to change the game, and if you're not paying attention, you might just miss the moment she leaves the rest of the league in the dust. Because if you think you've already seen everything Caitlin Clark has to offer, hold on, there might be another transformation on the horizon, and it could be even more game-changing than the last. No transformation is ever seamless. Bulk up too fast, and you risk losing a fraction of your quickness or injuring yourself. Change your approach too radically, and you might disrupt the delicate balance that made you special in the first place. For Caitlin Clark, the road ahead isn't guaranteed to be smooth. She'll likely draw heavier defensive schemes specifically designed to exploit any lingering weaknesses in her ball handling or decision making. In the moment she struggles, critics will be quick to pounce. A shooting slump could be blamed on too many hours in the weight room, or a poorly timed turnover might become a symbol of overconfidence. In addition, the burden of being touted as a future MVP could weigh heavily. Some players thrive under that pressure, others collapse. And let's not forget the risk of injuries. A more physical style of play inevitably means more wear and tear, more collisions, and higher stakes if something goes wrong. Still, if Clark has shown us anything, it's that she's not easily deterred by adversity. Plenty of doubts surrounded her when she first entered the league, and she responded by exceeding all expectations. Now that she's taken her body to a new level, the only real question is how she'll sustain this progress over the long term. One thing is certain: the entire basketball world will be watching. Every misstep, every success, every highlight reel moment will become part of the Caitlin Clark story, a narrative that's evolving in real time. But in the end, maybe it's not about the stumbles, it's about what she could ultimately become. Physical training is only half the battle. By all accounts, Clark's mental approach has evolved just as much as her physique. She's reportedly spending hours each week studying film, breaking down defenses, and obsessing over her own flaws. Teammates talk about her relentless drive, how she'll show up early to practice for extra reps, stay late to polish her mid-range jumper, and then spend the night reviewing footage of herself from different angles. That level of intensity can rub some people the wrong way. After all, not every teammate is prepared to match that all-consuming focus. Rumors swirl that she's clashed with less driven players who feel overshadowed or pressured by her single-minded pursuit of perfection. Yet, it's precisely that unyielding determination that could catapult her toward legendary status. The WNBA has seen extraordinary players before, athletes who set new benchmarks for excellence. But the sense around the league is that Clark, in just her second year, is positioning herself to join that echelon sooner rather than later. With veterans like A'ja Wilson and other established superstars still reigning supreme, the question isn't just whether Clark can compete with them, but whether she can eclipse them entirely. Whether you believe she's a surefire MVP in the making or a young talent with plenty left to prove, it's impossible to deny that Clark's mental fortitude has reached another level. And as she refines her technique, sharpens her decision-making, and develops even more chemistry with her teammates, one can only imagine what the ceiling might be. But with massive expectations come massive responsibilities and potential pitfalls. What happens to a team when a budding superstar bulks up and refines her game? Simple, everything shifts. For Clark's squad, her improved strength and versatility don't just make her more dangerous, they open up the floor for everyone else. Now defenders have to collapse on her drives, which frees up perimeter shooters. When she's backing down smaller guards, opponents might double team, leaving open cutters to exploit the lane. Analysts are already predicting that Clark could average a double-double, not just through raw scoring, but assists too. Some even imagine a scenario where she puts up 25 points and 10 assists on a nightly basis, which would place her among the W's elite. That's the kind of stat line you don't see every day, and it hints at a potential shift in how point guards approach the game. If Clark can consistently punish defenders inside and outside, it might encourage an entire generation of guards to adopt more intense strength training. Beyond her own team, other WNBA players are taking note. The message seems to be clear: get stronger or get left behind. If a guard like Clark can transform her body in a single offseason and flip the script on her weaknesses, then top-tier veterans can't rest easy. The league might soon see a ripple effect, with more players focusing on advanced weight training, specialized nutrition, and skill work designed to maintain speed while increasing power. It's an arms race of sorts, one that could elevate the overall level of play in the WNBA. All the while, fans are buzzing about the possibility of new records being shattered. Could Clark become the first WNBA player to average a triple-double? That might sound far-fetched now, but if she's already upending expectations this drastically, who's to say what's out of reach? But don't let all the hype fool you. There's more to greatness than just muscle and accolades. With heightened expectations comes heightened scrutiny. People love a good comeback story, but they also love tearing down rising stars. Some tabloids have tried to paint Clark as overly cocky, pointing to her on-court chatter and bold statements in interviews. A few older WNBA stars have seemingly thrown subtle shade, questioning the hype that Clark's getting. The tension has sparked debates among fans. Is she really the future face of the league, or is everyone jumping the gun? Social media is ablaze with speculation. One rumor claims she's taken her competitiveness too far in practice, clashing with teammates who feel overshadowed by her newfound spotlight. Another rumor whispers about tension between Clark and certain league veterans who aren't fans of her flashy and is causing waves that go well beyond mere muscle gain. Coaches around the league have started game planning specifically for her, even in the offseason. Training staff from opposing teams are analyzing her new physique, trying to see where she's improved and how they can exploit any lingering weaknesses. Some remain skeptical, believing she still has areas to address: turnover issues, occasional poor shot selection, and the ever-present challenge of adjusting to more sophisticated defenses. Yet one thing is clear: the conversation around Caitlin Clark has shifted dramatically. She's no longer the skinny rookie who might break under pressure. Now she's a serious contender, a threat who could, in time, challenge for MVP status. It's no exaggeration to say that in just one offseason, she's gone from a promising young player to a lightning rod for controversy, speculation, and enormous expectations. But the real shock is how her transformation could change the entire league. For any basketball phenom, shooting is great, speed is invaluable, but strength adds an entirely new dimension. That's where Clark's transformation might be most striking. Before, defenders could body her up, steer her away from her comfort spots, and force her into wild shots. Now, that old blueprint doesn't work anymore. She's muscling through contact, punishing undersized players in the post, and even setting bone-crunching screens for her teammates. Let's not forget that famous step-back three. It's still there, deadly as ever, except now, defenders have to think twice before crowding her. If they get too close, she'll drive. If they try to bump her mid-drive, she's sturdy enough to shrug them off and finish through traffic. One scout put it bluntly: you can't bully Caitlin Clark anymore. She's the one initiating the contact now. What's more, it's not just about offense. Clark's newly developed body is helping her stay aggressive on defense. She's no lockdown perimeter stopper yet, but pushing her around on switches isn't so simple. She's fighting through screens and refusing to be a weak link that savvy offenses target. This dual transformation, on both sides of the ball, has analysts buzzing that she could soon be one of the league's most complete players. And let's not overlook her passing game. Picture this: she fakes a three, drives, keeps her balance under pressure, pressure, then whips a pinpoint pass to a cutting teammate for an easy layup. Before, she might have been bumped off her path or stripped altogether. Now, with extra muscle giving her stability, Clark is orchestrating possessions like a seasoned veteran. But if you thought defenders were the only ones feeling nervous, think again. The whispers grew louder after her debut season wrapped up. Clark wasn't just resting on her impressive rookie year stats, she was hitting the gym like a woman possessed. According to various insiders, she embarked on a rigorously planned weightlifting program. We're not talking a casual 2-day-a-week routine. Think daily strength sessions punctuated by plyometric drills, sprints, and a brand new nutrition plan designed to help her pack on muscle without sacrificing speed. And if you asked Stephanie White, she'd say she saw it coming. Coach White has gone on record confirming that Clark has become noticeably bigger, not just toned, but genuinely stronger to the point where she doesn't even resemble the wiry guard that showed up to training camp last year. Of course, the exact numbers are hush-hush. No official statements about how many pounds she's gained or how many plates she's stacking in the weight room, but the visual evidence doesn't lie. Anyone who's spotted her in off-season workouts can attest. Her upper body looks more defined, her shoulders broader, and her core sturdier. Naturally, with such a sudden leap in muscle mass, speculation runs wild. Some fans are fascinated, applauding her dedication. Others toss around outlandish conspiracy theories. Maybe it's an extreme bulking regimen or some top-secret training approach. Whatever it is, the result is undeniable. A new Caitlin Clark is stepping onto the hardwood. And if you thought her step-back three was impossible to guard before, wait until you see the rest of her upgraded arsenal. But little did we know, her physical gains were just the tip of the iceberg. When Caitlin Clark first arrived on the WNBA stage, nobody doubted her raw talent. After all, she had been a scoring machine in college, known for her killer three-point shot and fearless attitude. But the WNBA is an entirely different animal. Bigger bodies, faster paces, and an undeniably tougher brand of basketball. Right away, fans noticed something. Despite her laser-accurate shooting and knack for highlight reel passes, Clark looked skinny. Defenders who had years of pro experience knew exactly how to exploit that. They body-checked her on drives, crowded her space on the perimeter, and put a target on her back anytime she stepped across half court. Rumors started to circulate. Was she too slender to endure an 82-game grind if the league ever expanded its schedule? Could she keep up with the likes of the most physical superstars? Some fans claimed she was a future legend in the making. Others wondered if her success in college wouldn't translate nearly as well in the pros. But you can't talk about Caitlin Clark without mentioning her competitive fire. Even when she was getting bumped around, she never backed down. She'd bark at defenders, jawing back and forth with them. At times, that trash talk sparked small on-court confrontations. A few WNBA vets weren't thrilled about a rookie coming in with that much swagger. Yet behind the bravado, there was also frustration. If she couldn't stand her ground physically, no amount of attitude would protect her from the league's toughest defenders. That's when the murmurs of a monumental offseason overhaul began. But that was only the beginning.